Yo, what's going on, gang? We have a TAC Atlas map of Area 99. I figured I'd go ahead and cover this while we got it right now before the map comes. I'm actually going to turn the webcam on for this. I want the gang to be able to see this in its entirety and be able to see this full map. Even though we're going to be focused on the left side of the screen, I think it'd be easier if I just left that off. So the first drop point we're going to talk about is going to be up here. This is going to be Mannequin Assembly. So here's the outside view we have of Mannequin Assembly. Looks like we have this little breezeway that's broken. Maybe you can dive across that from the inside. I'm not too sure how that's going to play out. But it looks like a lot of these POIs are going to be close quarter combat. But you'll have your fair share of outside fighting as well. I mean, you can see how they kind of lay out the rooftops too, pretty strategic. It's almost like the rooftops look like mini maps in their own. Almost like a strike map. So I think that's kind of cool how they're laying stuff out like that. Up next, we're going to have the cooling towers. We only get one photo of the cooling towers. That's going to be this narrow spot here. If we actually go to the full size of the map, and we see, so we have Mannequin Assembly cooling towers. And then over here, we have the test site. A lot of people speculated this was going to be Nuketown, but it's actually more or less like a firing range. I don't know if this is supposed to have like a layout of a map or not. I mean, you can kind of argue like firing range, like you got the trailer here, you have the obstacles, the buses in the back, you can kind of run around, maybe bunker style over there. So like maybe there's a correlation here, but in my opinion, probably not. But it does look like there's an underground area because there's straight up a bunker right here. I'm sure that's open. It makes me wonder if you can go underground through here. You can definitely go underground right here. But it looks like test site kind of leads into that next place, which I guess is going to be right here. It's going to be bunkers, so it absolutely does go underground. It says down into the bunker below the test site, a maze of hallways and rooms that lead you to the war room. So a small map within itself is the location under the test site. Watch out for enemies plowing through this area and possibly around every corner. So I guess the war room's going to be like a strike map in itself, is literally what they called it, a small map within itself. The reactor, this is going to be middle of the map. Main source of experimental weaponry, the roof of the central reactor building acts as a bullseye for operators dropping in on the action. Main reaction tower, which was cracked open, has been slowly leaking for 30 years, features more vertical gameplay both inside and out, with the cinders and gantry steps providing access in and out the core chamber adjacent computer banks. Let's see, curved corridors leading to the turbines room and hydro pumps. So it looks like they're saying a lot of people can land here. Realistically though, there's always like one POI that's gonna go crazy. I don't know if this is it. It doesn't have that feel, man. Usually you can look at a POI and be like, yeah, that's a spot. Like I saw Superstore, never forget it, bro. I was reviewing the POI for Superstore before Warzone 2019 dropped, thinking to myself, that's that gas. So, I don't know. I don't see that right here per se. Maybe it'll change when we play. Let's go to Nuketown shipping. This is going to be on the far end of the map. This is going to be this long stretch we see on this right side for looking bird's eye view of the map, which has a bunch of these little Nuketown homes. No, it is not another remake of Nuketown either. I know it seems similar. These are like cookie cutter homes. Like this is the same home, same everything. It's literally like copy and pasted. Same patch on the roof, same holes. Same thing with this house. They are the exact same. So you'll probably notice that throughout this map. I don't think it's a bad thing that they're doing the exact same homes throughout the map. Considering it's a nuke zone, it's like a nuke testing facility. It kind of plays into the theme, everything's kind of the same. They're not looking for quality of detail of homes. They're just kind of building stuff to see how it lasts when stuff blows up. We get the pods next. This was a super hot spot for COD next, man. The pods, they kind of stand out. They're the most colorful thing you really see on the map. Individual rooms through each pod, so you can access them almost like big staircases. You can land on them, jump into the next, kind of go inside, run around. They're fully furnished, kitchen, bedrooms, stuff like that. Not too many of them, and then I know there's rappels underneath, which is cool, so you can rappel to the top, and there's a very large playable area underneath. These things are absolutely massive. They look small in this photo, but they are very, very large. There's a massive play space underneath, so I think that's probably going to be a pretty hot drop. Kind of has that feel to it. Manufacturing, This is honestly just another big industrial warehouse type feel. The inside's definitely like another multiplayer map. And it says it again right here. The interior of manufacturing plant is like its own little multiplayer map within Area 99. So they definitely added a few spots and kind of tailored them to be their own like hotspots. I feel like that's something you can't really force. So like I feel like when they released Superstore, they were like, this is gonna be the spot, you know. So we'll see. We got warehouse here as well. Again, this is kind of catered the same way. They're trying to kind of make these buildings play as much as they can to being a super hot spot. This looks like a more chill part of the map right here, the loading bay. Obviously, we have the Nuketown home right here, like the traditional Nuketown house right here, kind of floating on this crane. And I know you can go inside of it, which is kind of cool. I know during COD Next, this right here, there was a buy station. Oops, excuse me. There's a buy station right here, gang. So I do know that loading bay could be a cool spot if you're trying to get in, get some money, get a loadout real quick. That might be a move as well. Because if you look at the grand scheme of things, on the overview, loading bays down here, you can go here straight to manufacturing, to pods. It seems like a pretty solid spot to kind of land and get going. But maybe pods is going to be the move, because from pods you can get to reactor, play middle map control, and kind of move from there. Manufacturing has the large roof, and you know, if you think of it that way, to like Rebirth Island, with this being Resurgence map, maybe this has you thinking, you know, you could play this like prison. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. It's unique that the very center of the map is basically like a water tower, in the sense of you could probably sit up here and just snipe down on people, just like you do on the water tower on Rebirth Island. But for the most part, it's pretty flat land. The right side of the map, this is all in a dip. This is elevated right here where I'm dragging the mouse. That is a big elevation gap. So it does kind of dip down on this right side, but this right here is pretty level ground where the mouse is coming across this left side. There is elevation right here around the pods. You notice a little elevation, but nothing as drastic as what you see for Nuketown shipping. This ideally is probably not a place you're going to want to get stuck, because there's only a couple stairs. There's stairs here. There's stairs here. Obviously, you can run around the fence, but there's only a couple places. So if you're down here and a team's up here, it's going to be a pretty challenging push to work your way up, you know, and try to get a dub if the ring's closing on this side of the map. So that's one thing to keep your eye out. It's just low spots on the map. But I think all in all, it's probably going to play pretty solid. For those of you watching this video going, what is this map? You're not excited for it. You're stressing out. Rebirth Island is staying. They're not getting rid of Rebirth Island. So don't worry about that. Gang, listen, if you're new to the channel and enjoyed the content, man, hit that sub button, crush the like button, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another heater. Let's get it, gang.